Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Trader Tim from EminiMind here. Not a whole lot to tell you about this week, but I did want to run through a trade from yesterday and touch base on the larger picture here. Last week was the expiration week. I really didn't have any trades, any halfway back trades, and then we've been kind of quiet so far this week. Today, I could not make any sense of the chart, which kind of makes sense because this morning we were really the whole day, we're mostly inside the prior day, and that always makes it for some hard trading at times. It can be very choppy and whipsaw. Sometimes it's like you're breaking 61.8, so then you're still going back in the direction that the uh, trade should have gone. So I couldn't make much sense of today's trade. Didn't have anything, and then but yesterday I had a short that I wanted to touch on. Before I get to that, you can see on the daily ES here, we've got another halfway back short on the daily chart. 3900 we'll call it. 3913 is the actual 50%. But a bounce to that level, I'd look at I would put on a put hedge if we come to that level and stop. If we just trade right through it and it's like the morning, or let's say we gap up to the 61.8 and then go higher, and then we close above the 61.8, then I wouldn't bother. But if we close at the 50%, or maybe we like spend the next day or two at the 50%, then I consider putting on a put hedge for the what I would look at as like the final move lower to the full halfway back from COVID lows to our all-time highs. So that's what that yellow line is down here. We'll just call it, eh, even just call it 3,500 down here, the halfway back. So let's go to yesterday and look at that halfway back short. So way back. Yesterday we gapped down and then rallied towards the gap fill from the prior day, from Tuesday. And the short was right at the top of the hour. We didn't have any news, so there wasn't anything to kind of prevent us from taking a trade right at the top of the hour. That trade was here. And you notice that short lined right up with the prior day's lows here, like dead on with that price level short. Um, And then as far as opposing trades go, you say, well, we gapped down and we were in a strong uptrend. I drew the first couple retracement longs. First one, you could do it a couple different ways, but we'll go to the second one here. Was a retracement long like so. And we were up at the negative 61.8. We didn't trade in the next 50% at that point, so we were at this point in the day. The 50% long had not traded. So you're looking at it as, okay, this is a 37, 56, 75. The opposing, or the next long, is down at 37, 48 and change. Plenty of room to get at least a first target. This did happen to end up being the 30-minute high, and there really wasn't a full halfway back to speak of. Um, this one earlier, if we draw it like that, came back close to it, but didn't quite trade. And the only thing that was really deterring me, or that kind of checked the negative column towards taking this as a short, is we didn't quite make it to the gap fill. But I felt like since we made it to the prior day's low that I had marked back here, I guess it wasn't the prior day's low per se. It was just the low midday, so kind of that halfway back point right there. Um, and so that acted as enough resistance since it got such a strong bounce. That support was then, I was seeing it acting as resistance coming off the top of the 30-minute range. So that's kind of how you can use the prior day's price action. Again, it wasn't the actual low of the day, but it was the bounce point that didn't actually make it to the negative 23% target. So that 50% bounce didn't make it. In trading hours, we gapped down the next day. So that was kind of bearish. And then the short was just a 56.75, traded pretty much perfectly, and then traded down. Here I drew up the extension and trailed that as my 61.8 trail, the extension short. So 37.50 is what I ended up using for that one. And I did that, I trailed the extension rather than trailing the full halfway back because we were sitting right, that 50% long was like right there. And so I didn't want to let that possibly be a bounce point. So going the extension down gives you a little bit lower stop placement. And we had gone past the negative 23 all the way to the minus 61.8. So anytime we go past that and trade at the negative 61.8, then just go ahead and draw up the low to low for the extension trail. So yeah, that's all I got for you today. Short video, but didn't post anything last week or later in the week because I didn't have any trades to take. So just wanted to give you a recap of that Wednesday trade and then where we are in the bigger picture. So watch for a bounce up to 3,900. Probably later this week or early next week. So hope everyone has a good week and hope your summer's off to a good start. Thanks and talk soon.